I read yesterday, someone posted that Lubavitcher Rebbe, the Rebbe, did not allow people who is assistant secretaries to buy him clothing. The Rebbe refused, like bare necessary, and that's it. Like the Rebbe didn't want. So once they bought a new kapata, the Rebbe was very upset. The Rebbe didn't want, but when Rosh Hashanah came, the Rebbe took it out the second day, said, I'll use it for Shechianu. There's many stories like this with the Rebbe that we kind of forced the Rebbe to become who he needed to become. How did the Rebbe started sitting on the red chair? The Rebbe never wanted to. For years, the Rebbe, for at least 4 or 5 years, the Rebbe sat on the bench.
On the bench?
On the bench. There was a bench, and the Rebbe sat on the bench. Hours of upbringing. So I think they made a chair for the Rebbe, a nice chair, not necessarily the one we know now. There was a few chairs before that. And they brought it by the Farbrengen. They put it by the Farbrengen. The Rebbe sees the chair, the Rebbe comes, and basically there's a chair here, and the bench is there. The Rebbe grabs the chair out, sleds the bench, and sits down and starts the Farbrengen. So Chassidim had to be a little more. Is keen a good word?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, keen.
Mm-hmm.
Keen is good, no? Like pikeach, like and the Shabbos after they put the chair, and they made sure there is not one bench around. The Rebbe walked in, and the Rebbe comes. Rebbe looks around, takes the chair and sits down. The Rebbe didn't play games. The Rebbe was going to be, me no see me, chair no. Okay, and the Rebbe sat on the chair. So a lot of things like that. You know, one time they tried to. So the Rebbe would come straight from the oil, daven mincha ma'ariv, and I think then the Rebbe was supposed to give out tanyas. So one of those years, one of those times that the Rebbe gave out printed tanyas to everyone. The Chassidim knew that the Rebbe would come from a full day of the oil, not eat, daven mincha, daven ma'ariv, and then will be at least 2-3 hours of distribution for the Tanya. The Rebbe would be like not eating till probably 10 o'clock at night or something. So they decided to, after Ma'ariv, or after Ma'ariv, tell the Rebbe that the truck is stuck somewhere, it's not here yet with the Tanyas. So the Rebbe would like go up, eat something, and come down when the Tanyas would come. So the Rebbe turns around as if he's waiting for the Tanyas, and someone said, the truck is nicht angekommen. So the Rebbe says, okay. The Rebbe turns around to the stander and starts saying a sicha. 2 seconds later, the truck is angekommen. The truck arrived. There's certain things that you can't trick the Rebbe, but at the same time, talking about coming from Shabbos Yud Shvat and how the Rebbe accepted the Nesius, there are certain things that Hasidim managed to push the Rebbe into. Accepting the Nesius, I was listening to Rabbi Paltiel. I posted on my status. Anyone who sees it, I can share. Rabbi Paltiel was this video on Yud Shvat was really amazing, and inviting everyone to follow. Sometimes he is really. It's mind blowing to have so much great Hasidic content on YouTube. So I highly encourage people. So he said how the Hasidim before Yud Shvat decided to print an ad in the Jewish newspaper, in the Jewish journal, that Chabad Hasidim have accepted a new Rebbe. The Rebbe heard about it. The Rebbe called in Rabbi Chadakov and told Rabbi Chadakov, you have 4 hours to put an ad in the next one that it's not true, and to deny the first post. So Rabbi Chodakov was very, very challenged. Chodakov is a real chassid of the Rebbe, who would listen to the Rebbe every single order and word. On the other hand, he wanted very much the Rebbe to become Rebbe and to accept. And he was not part of this, but he was behind the scene of putting that ad in the newspaper. So he went outside, he called a few Chassidim, Rabbi Kazanovsky and a few other, Rabbi Handel and a few people who were involved. And he called in Shmuel Levitin. Rabbi Shmuel Levitin was a big, he was a Chassid, he was a Mashpia, and he was a Rav, and he was a keen, a clever person. And they tried to figure out what to do. Because back and forth, it's like if the Rebbe doesn't want it, we have a problem. But if the Rebbe is going to keep on denying, rejecting our plea for him to become a Rebbe, like what's going to be? So they thought about it, and they told the Rebbe, we don't have to take away the ad. The ad doesn't say that you accepted. The ad says that us, Hasidim, accepted the Rebbe as a Rebbe. Doesn't mean that you admit it. Doesn't say you admit it. Shmuel Levitin said that. And he told Rabbi Chadakov, and Rabbi Chadakov repeated it to the Rebbe, and the Rebbe accepted it. And that ad was a major advancement in progress in the Rebbe accepting, signs of the Rebbe accepting the Nesius. From all the stories he said, I heard something very, very impressive that I did not know before, that the night Shchei Shvat, the Rebbe wrote the letter, famous letter of all the Minhagim, the Rebbe wrote it like a Rebbe already, not like a maskir, like a secretary. He says, Rabbi Patia says, I'm repeating B'Shem Amroi, and I highly recommend everyone to listen to this. He said that there was a change in the Rebbe. We realized that the Rebbe took it seriously, even though they didn't say clearly that he would accept it. But the day of Yud Shvat, the Rebbe went to the oil, and there was an ad already in the thing that there would be a Farbrengen, there would be a Minyan, there would be a Farbrengen, with the Kvoid Dushas Admur Ramash Shlita. The Rebbe accepted it. He didn't say that the Rebbe would say a Maimer. It had to be a Maimer. The Maimer was the sign that that a Rebbe is accepting the Nesius, but there was no announcement that the Rebbe would say a Maimer. It said the night before, the Rebbe, I think the Rebbe was wearing a silk kapata. You have to understand that before that, the whole year, and until then, the Rebbe would wear a gray hat or blue hat and short jackets, and the Rebbe didn't, and that upset the Hasidim a lot. They wanted to have some, and the Rebbe Bedavka, like, but that day, usually the Rebbe wore Shabbos clothing and everything. And after Ma'ariv, he said that before the Farbrengen, the Rebbe went into his room and had a conversation with his mother for 20 minutes. So that's something I never knew, and when you think about it, what happened in those 20 minutes, try to imagine the giant of a person the Rebbe was at one of the most challenging moments of his life, where his Rebbe passed away. He needs to become the one he doesn't want, but he has no choice. And before he's going all out, he has this very intimate and personal talk with his mother. I mean, when I heard this, I mean, think about it. What went on there? You have this mix of greatness and humility, and the mother who was like, my son is the Rebbe. It's like he was not a regular boy. You know that by the age of 8 or 9, the Rebbe's Melamed, the Rebbe's teacher, told the Rebbe's father, I can't teach him anymore. I don't have what to teach him. We're talking that the Rebbe never went to school. The Rebbe should not have a reason to go to school. The Rebbe was not able to socialize with people. You know that. The Rebbe barely had friends. Did not have friends. And then the Rebbe comes to his mother. There's no one better than the Rebbe's mother to know the Rebbe's greatness, by the way. Correct? You agree? Right? It's the Rebbe's mother. And what would the Rebbe like? Ma, what do you think? Should I do it? Like it's not. What went on there is like it's it gives. It gave me another level of appreciation for this relationship of the Rebbe and his mother. Anyways, so we know that women have always been involved in and played a tremendous role in the most critical moments in history, and I think this is one of them. Just on the side note, I'm sharing a lot of things here that are not connected, but the Rebbe and his wife arrived here in 1941 on what day? Chav Sivan. Right? After the war, 1946-47, just 6 years later, Rebbe took a boat after Purim, I think, went to Paris, spent Pesach in Paris, with his mother, who was coming out of Russia, and stayed there for 3 months about. With his mother and the Chassidim, with the Chassidim, we have pictures of the Rebbe in Paris, 1947, and took a boat back after Pesach, and the Rebbe went to pick up his mother by boat. What day did the Rebbe come back to America with his mother? In 1947? Chav Sivan.
Same day.
Same date that he came with his wife. Isn't this mind-blowing? Again, if you know the Sikha of the Rebbe about the 50 years of Chav Sivan, that the Rebbe arrived Ishu Beisai together with his wife. And then 6 years later, random trip. The Rebbe arrives here, nobody knows that date. What date? Same date. So the Rebbe's relationship with his, if I can speak like that, with his women, his wife and his mother. I saw a video today of Chassid from Amshinov, I'm not sure which Chassid, who does Kiruv, and asks the Rebbe how to deal with women when you do Kiruv. And you see he's very uncomfortable, but he's asking like, was man told me, the Nushim, the Rebbe is like, I'll send you the clip, but the Rebbe is like, basically, I don't understand. There's a Daf Torah, you have futsuba in Nesecha chutza. You have to do the work. And the Rebbe says, like, don't focus on the chutza, focus on the mayones. And the Rebbe says, the Arizal writes that the women and girls of the generation of the Geula are descendants, are Gilgulim of the women of the generation of Yitzias Mitzrayim, and we know that the Bischus Nashim Tzedkaniyas Shibedoyer Nigalu Avisenu. So all the women of the Rebbe said, like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Women in our generation, they are the ones who are bringing the. You have a problem with them? Like, you're not focusing on the right thing. The Rebbe's appreciation for the greatness of a Jewish woman is beyond. So let alone be his wife or his mother. It's just fascinating. Chaim Libracha.